Hi everyone, welcome back to Sewing and Crochet Things. Today's video is going to be a tutorial of how to make the Tunisian stitch. It's not a difficult stitch, it's really easy, but it's a little tricky. So there's a few tips and tricks that you need to follow to be successful at it. It took me a few tries to get it right. So I'm going to explain you the way that I do it so you can get to it easier than I did. This is the hook that you're going to need for this. As you can see, it has like this plastic string attached with this like end here. So you're going to need this kind of stitch because if you are making really large projects, you're going to need to push it to this part so that you can continue working. This stitch goes to the left and then back to the right. So that's why you need to be able to go back and forth. It's kind of when you knit with needles, but it's just with one hook. So I made here my foundation 11 chains and 10 single crochets so that I can start explaining to you. The first thing you're going to do when you finish your first row, you're going to create one chain and then you're going to turn your work and you're going to start doing, you insert the hook in the next stitch, you yarn over and you're going to leave all of the loops here. Okay, so get into the next stitch and yarn over. Now get into the next stitch, yarn over, and so on. Remember to not make it so tight, like when you yarn over and pull through, just pull a little bit, making sure that it's not so, like you have a little bit of space here, not so crowded or not so tight down, because it's going to have an overall better look. Okay, so continue doing it until the end. Until the last stitch. Okay, and here we're going to start returning and completing our stitches. First, we're going to count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so that's fine. Now you're going to yarn over and pull it through 2 of the loops. And do that continuously. Yarn over, pull it through 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through just 2 loops. Okay, do it all the way till the end, and I'll explain the second row in a second. All right, now it looks a little bit different. You can see this is a single crochet, this is the Tunisian stitch. You have these little bars across all of your work. So now you're going to stitch through each space that you can see. Like this is the first space, second space. You're going to do the same thing, but at the end I'm going to teach you or show you something a little bit different because you have to be alternating, for example. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to first start on right away, like in between the 2 bars, the first 2 bars. So make your first stitch like this and continue through the rest of each space. until you reach the last one, and okay, this would be the last space, this one. Before you stitch on your last space here, you're going to skip this one because in the beginning we stitched in the center of the first two bars. So these last two bars that we have, we're going to skip this space, and you're just going to work on this little like chain, and you're going to yarn over and pull through, making just a little chain, and you're going to then come back again, pulling through, yarning over and pulling through 2 loops until the end of the row. The reason why we do this, like when we start in the center and then we skip the last one, is because we want to continue the same number of stitches that we had in the beginning. So if we just keep adding in between every single one in the beginning and the end, we're going to start increasing and making our work wider. Okay, so that's a really important rule. Now that we got to the end here, and because the last time we stitched in between these 2 spaces, now we're going to skip these 2. We're not going to do it in between these 2. We're going to skip the first one and just go right into the second one. And here in the last one, now we're going to stitch in the center of that last space. We're going to like insert it on the space between the bar and the right side here, the other side, and we're going to pull it through there. But we're not done yet, because here we already did our last space, but we always need to stitch in this little, like the foundation of the previous round. This is like our chain. Like when we work regular crochet rows, we always make a chain in the outside so that our work continues being really even. So as you could see, I inserted the yarn here, I yarn over and just chain 1. And now I'm getting through, yarning over and pulling through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And like this until the end. This is a really nice stitch to work on baskets, beach bags. I will show you a beach bag I made in a second. I'm going to make one more row, and then if it was not clear, you can repeat the video, but I'm going to just make one more so that you can see like the other way around. Here in the previous one, we skipped the first space. Okay, we went directly to the second one. So here, and it's really easy to know what's next because here it's really easy to insert it. And in the previous one, it was too tight, so we knew that we had to skip it. And here we can insert it again in the center and continue until one space remains. Okay, we have our last space, and we're going to skip this one because in the previous one we stitched it. So we're not going to stitch this space. We're going to go right into the foundation chain of the previous row and make just a chain there, like pull it through and make a chain, and then continue normally, yarning over and pulling through loops, through 2 loops, sorry. Okay, it's looking really cute. And of course, to begin the next one, you would, as you can see, it's really tight, this space, so you would skip it and stitch all the way to the last space and then make a chain in the foundation. Those are the important things you need to remember with this stitch. Always remember to start in the center, and then in the next one you need to skip it, center and then skip it. And in this side is the same. You're going to end up in this in the middle of the last space, and in the next row you would skip the last space. And always remember to make your chain in this part so that you don't start reducing your stitches, because it took me a really long while to understand that. And this stitch, I used it for the pattern of this beautiful beach bag. You cannot see it fully here. I will insert a picture of it, but it's really cute. Like, it looks really beautiful. And this was a kit that I purchased, like with the yarn and the hook and the pattern in lionbrand.com. I will give you the details about this kit in the description box below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will be happy to answer them as soon as I can. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it can inspire you to make a really beautiful beach bag for this summer. And thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more weekly videos like this one. Thank you so much.